There are names of Allah we hear often. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, Al-Malik. Beautiful, comforting, familiar. But beyond them lie names rarely spoken. Names that carry power, depth, and truth that can shake your soul awake. These aren't just words to memorize. They are realities, living, breathing truths woven into every heartbeat, every event, every moment that's ever existed. Let's start with Al-Muqit, the sustainer. We often think we survive because we eat, sleep, breathe. But that's not true. The food doesn't feed you. The oxygen doesn't keep you alive. The laws of biology don't run on their own. Every single function, every process, every heartbeat is commanded by him. Constantly, continuously. If Al-Muqit were to stop sustaining you for even a millisecond, every system in your body would fail. Every atom in your existence would collapse into silence. You are alive not because your body works, but because he commands it to. Now, Al-Jalil, the majestic. It's not about intimidation or grand power alone. It's that indescribable greatness that humbles everything else. When you look up at a sky filled with stars, galaxies so far that light from them takes millions of years to reach your eyes, that is a reflection of Al-Jalil. When lightning cracks, oceans roar, and mountains stand firm, all of that is just a whisper of his majesty. Every time you feel small before the universe, that's not insignificance. That's perspective. A reminder that you are witnessing the shadow of his grandeur. Al-Qawi, the all-strong. Strength, for us, means power, force, resistance. But Allah's strength is different. It's the strength that keeps the planets from colliding, the oceans from overflowing, the earth from collapsing. It's the strength that forgives endlessly. He gives humans free will, watches them deny him, disobey him, even mock him. And still, he feeds them, clothes them, shelters them. That's not weakness. That's divine strength, unmatched patience, unstoppable mercy, unshakable justice. Then there's Al-Haq, the absolute truth. In a world built on illusions, this name feels like a storm cutting through fog. Everything you see is temporary. Beauty fades, power shifts, people lie. Even your own thoughts betray you sometimes. But Al-Haq never changes. His existence is the only real thing holding everything else together. When you chase success, approval, validation, they vanish. When you chase him, you find truth that never moves. Because he is truth. Al-Mujib, the responder. This one hits deep. Because we've all been there, crying in the dark, begging for an answer that never seems to come. But Allah is Al-Mujib. He hears every call, not just the words but the feelings buried beneath them. He answers, but not always how you expect. Sometimes his yes is delayed to protect you. Sometimes his no is a better yes in disguise. And sometimes his silence is the answer, a test, a lesson, a chance to grow. When no one listens, he does. When no one answers, he responds. Always. Al-Wadud, the most loving. This love isn't like ours, fragile, conditional, breakable. His love doesn't depend on you being perfect. He watched you fall into sin and still wrote your next breath. He saw you give up on yourself and still kept your heart beating. Even when you forget him for days, months, years, he still sends you tiny signs to come back. That unexpected comfort when you're breaking down, that peace that comes after crying. That's Al-Wadud. His love doesn't fade with your mistakes. It deepens through your return. Al-Latif, the subtle. This is one of the most beautiful names because it's the one you feel before you understand. You lose something you thought you needed, and months later realize you're better off. You meet someone by accident, and your life changes. You get delayed, and it saves you from something unseen. That's Al-Latif at work. The one who moves gently, never loud, never obvious, but always precise. He rearranges your life in silence. Every coincidence, every twist, every delay, planned with such care you don't even realize it. Al-Kabir, the all-aware. He knows what you show and what you hide. Not just your actions, but your thoughts, your motives, your fears. He knows why you smiled in that moment, why you hesitated to do good, why you pretended to be fine. He knows when you act strong but feel broken, when you sin not out of rebellion but confusion. And still, he gives you time, guidance, and endless second chances. Because he knows you better than you know yourself. Al-Muhsi, the reckoner. Every moment you breathe is recorded. Every kind word, every tear, every hidden act of kindness that no one saw. It's all written. You might forget your good deeds, but He never does. On the day of judgment, when the world's noise is gone, and it's just you and Him, you'll see every single action replayed, and the smallest act you thought meant nothing might be the one that saves you. Because Al-Muhsi forgets nothing. And finally, Al-Mughni, the enricher. We live in a world obsessed with wealth. But Al-Mughni teaches that richness isn't in your wallet, it's in your soul. You can have everything and still feel empty, or you can have almost nothing and still feel full, peaceful, content. That's not random, that's His design. He gives wealth to some as a test, takes it from others as protection. He enriches not just with money but with wisdom, love, purpose, and faith. Because true richness isn't having more, it's needing less. Now think about it. These are not just names. They're dimensions of reality. When you know them, your whole view of life changes. You stop feeling like a victim of chance. You start seeing meaning in everything, in loss, in pain, in joy, in timing. Because the names of Allah are not just attributes. They are the threads holding the entire universe together. You are never lost, never unseen, never unanswered, never unloved. Every breath, every test, every blessing, a reflection of one of His names working quietly behind the curtain of your life. So don't just hear these names, live them. Whisper them when you're in pain. Remember them when you're alone. Let them ground you when the world feels fake. Because once you truly know who Allah is, you'll stop fearing the world and start trusting the one who runs it. If this made you pause, if it made you feel something shift inside, then this is your sign. Don't scroll. Don't forget. Subscribe to Parvaz Legacy and keep walking deeper. Because the more you learn His names, the more you'll realize He's been with you all along.